Melissa G. Wilson here, coming to you from Networlding and Networlding Publishing, books and more that make the world better. Today I'm going to dive into the seriousness of why you should be writing a book series versus just one book. And at the very least, look at your first book as a book that could keep going. So, one of the things that we can do is juxtapose the possibility against the idea of writing a series. And just for inspiration, I'm looking at, on my computer right now, Chicken Soup for the Soul. That's a book series. Let's just dive into it a little bit. It has over 275 titles and more than 110 million copies in the US and Canada. It has been translated into 41 languages and has been published in over 100 countries. And so worldwide has sold over 500 million copies. Now, even just this last year, it made about 70 million or so in sales. It also has an entertainment arm that involves publishing or producing movies. So we're looking at a very interesting model, but what is even more interesting is the cadence, if you will. How did they do this? Well, on average, if you look at chickensoup.com, you'll find that they publish, and I'm just typing in chickensoup.com just to make sure. Yes, so chickensoup.com is the website, and they publish on average about 12 books a year. And they're always seeking solicitations. And they pay about $250 for stories to go into the Chicken Soup books, and they're still producing those. So it shows you the rich power of a series. Now, I've published a series and started last year, and I feel good because 10 books were coming out in the first year. One's coming out the beginning of next year, but it was finished in this year and just wants to publish at the beginning of the year. So think about what you can do. What can your book series look like? Let me give you an example of another book series. One of my authors, her name is Irma Perrone. She has a company called Perrone Group. I helped her with a book called Win X, and it's about making decisions. And that book, as we discussed, could be a series. For example, there could be Win X for managers, Win X for nonprofit directors, Win X for heads of schools, etc., etc., etc. And by looking at your book as something bigger than just one book, you stand out from other authors. And I've mentioned it before in other videos that on average we're looking at thousands of books, upwards of 4,000 or more books a year that are uploaded on Amazon. Now, don't you want to stand out more? Of course. So how are you going to do that? Think of a series. Even if you do a guidebook as a complement to your book, that adds on to your credibility and lifts you above other authors out there who just write one book. You can also create a journal as an option. These are tools that, for example, if you're out training, these tools can make a difference. With Networlding, I created both a participant's guidebook and a facilitator's guidebook. That enables me to go in and train people, or now have other people do that, train people in organizations and license Networlding. And I developed a licensing agreement. So you can do a lot more with your book if you think of it beyond one book. So when you're looking to grow, think of the opportunity. Chicken Soup for the Soul, the Dummy series has over 300 books. Also, 1 Minute Manager. Now with the 1 Minute Manager, note that those books are shorter And that's okay too. What I'm finding is the number of pages in books are shrinking. People, I believe, are shortening their attention spans dramatically. So having a book, even like a Chicken Soup for the Soul book, where they can read a chapter, let it go for that day, go to sleep, and then read another chapter the next day. Think of your book like that. Stories matter. You can create a series like that also with stories. And then that could even be a sequel of books where you go out and interview, say, 10 people in your area of focus. So when you're thinking of a series, think of a series seriously and delve into it. Go exploring and see what's out there, and you'll notice, as I did, that writing a series can lift you much more than other marketing strategies that might not have that longevity. This is Melissa G. Wilson from Networlding and Networlding Publishing, books and more that make the world better. And if you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button. I bring this information, new information out every week, and please feel free to ask questions. This is an academy, an online academy, and it's meant for you to build your understanding so that you can be successful in publishing. Here's to your publishing success, and make it a great day.